They both did get into a fight, but other people was involved in the fight too.
Oh, really? Wait, hold up, they jumped Big U? Oh, cuz.
That clip going viral, it's exactly what everyone's talking about right now. Big U allegedly getting jumped in jail by someone connected to Nipsey Hussle. For years, whispers have linked Big U to Nipsey's murder, and now it looks like street. Justice may have finally caught up with him behind bars. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's also word of Loose Cannon and Brick Baby getting into it, and sources say all of it might be connected. Let's break it down. The Jailyard showdown. According to multiple reports, Big U, Loose Cannon, and Brick Baby were all involved in a serious brawl inside a federal facility. This wasn't just some minor altercation. It was an all-out fight that ended with the entire prison going on lockdown. For those who don't know the players, Eugene Big U Henley is a well-known figure in LAAD, former leader of the rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, who later became a music executive and manager, once guiding Nipsey Hussle's early career. In March 2025, Big U was indicted in a massive 43-count federal case, accused of running a criminal enterprise with charges including murder, racketeering, extortion, and fraud. Prosecutors claim he used his non-profit developing options as a front for illegal activity. Main Loose Cannon Williams is a 30-year-old music producer and rapper from South Central LA who worked closely with Nipsey, producing tracks like Bringing California Back. After Nipsey's death in 2019, Loose Cannon stepped into the spotlight as an artist. He was also caught up in the same March 2025 RICO indictment alongside Big U's Brick. Baby Mitchell is a rapper and podcast personality with ties to the rolling 60s. Raised around Crenshaw and Slauson, he has links to artists like Kid Ink and KC Veggies. Unlike Big U and Loose Cannon, Brick Baby wasn't indicted in the RICO case, but was arrested separately for being a felon in possession of a firearm yet. He's currently locked up in the same facility. At first, people thought the fight was between the three of them. But according to a recent YouTube breakdown of the situation, that's not what went down. In reality, it was a case of them versus everyone else. Despite any personal tensions, Big U, Loose Cannon, and Brick Baby reportedly teamed up and fought on the same side, united against a rival group in the yard, believed to be
more of a other side against them situation.
Oh, man. Really?
This is particularly noteworthy, given the intense tension between the three individuals, especially between Loose Cannon and Big U. In a January 2024 interview on the No Jumper podcast, hosted by Adam22 and Whack, 100 Loose Cannon made explosive allegations against Big U. He claimed that Big U had prior knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's murder. According to Loose Cannon, Big U called him and said Nipsey had been killed before the murder had actually taken
place. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone.
According to Cannon, he reached out to Nipsey, who was still alive at the time. However, just about 30 minutes later, he learned that Nipsey had passed away.
30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
This entire situation took a dramatic turn when Cannon suggested that he might have been able to prevent Nipsey Hussle's murder if Big U had been more forthcoming. Cannon implied Big U may have been the complicit, reportedly saying, "I probably could," have stopped it, emphasizing his belief that Big U's alleged prior knowledge could have changed the outcome. He went further, claiming Big U and Nipsey had a strained relationship that included a physical altercation, which allegedly led to Nipsey's brother Black Sam being arrested for discharging a firearm. According to Cannon, this incident was connected to a diss track Nipsey recorded targeting Big U, marking the decline of their relationship. Big U, however, did not take these accusations lightly. In March 2024, he issued a cease and desist letter to No Jumper firmly denying the claims and attempting to stop their spread, adding yet another layer to this already complex story. Further complicating matters, Cannon's twin brother Jermaine Williams appeared on the Streets and Scholars podcast in 2024 and denied that the alleged phone call from Big U ever happened. He accused Cannon of lying about numerous aspects of his life, including his marriage and music credentials, casting serious doubt on his brother's credibility. Despite the bad blood between Loose Cannon and Big U, things took an unexpected turn in jail. When it mattered most, they put aside their differences and stood together. One of the most surprising revelations is that the fight between them wasn't just a one-time event. According to a YouTube video, the altercation began in the prison courtyard, but continued even after the individuals were placed in solitary confinement.
That's deep right there.
I think the fact that that's because they want to know all be friends and kumbaya. I don't know. I told him, I said, you better shut. I don't care if you fought with you or not. I don't care.
The fight reportedly involved a total of 7 individuals aligned with Brick Baby Loose Cannon and Big U facing off against 9 opponents from the rival side. This wasn't just a minor scuffle, it was a serious violent altercation that led to a full facility lockdown, cutting off yard access for all inmates. What makes the situation even more shocking is the timing. Both Brick Baby and Loose Cannon had upcoming bail hearings shortly after the fight. Getting into a prison brawl right before a bail hearing is one of the worst things you can do if you're trying to convince a judge you're not a threat to society. It raises red flags about self-control and reinforces the prosecution's argument that the defendants pose a risk to the community. Interestingly, some sources have speculated that if either Brick Baby or Loose Cannon sustained injuries during the fight, it might help their case at the bail hearings by portraying them as victims rather than aggressors. However, no confirmed reports of specific injuries have surfaced so far. It's also important to clarify that this jailhouse fight between Big U, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and their rivals is separate from another internal dispute, this one between Loose Cannon and Brick Baby themselves. According to reports, the two clashed inside their shared cell or module with Loose Cannon, allegedly confronting Brick Baby. This disagreement led to a brief separation, with Brick Baby temporarily moved to a nearby cell. Despite the tension, they've reportedly resolved their differences and are now back on good terms. This entire situation sheds light on the complex and often volatile dynamics within the federal detention system, especially when it involves high-profile gang figures. The fact that Loose Cannon, Big U, and Brick Baby, despite personal animosity and past allegations, chose to stand united against a common enemy underscores the enduring influence of gang alliances behind bars. In environments like these, loyalty to the gang often outweighs personal grievances. The alliance between these Crip-affiliated individuals is particularly significant, given the long-standing feud between the Rollin' 60s Crips and Bloods, a rivalry dating back to the 1970s. Rooted in territorial disputes, drug trade competition, and deep-seated gang pride, this conflict has led to decades of violence, both on the streets and behind prison walls. Incarcerated individuals often lean heavily on gang ties for protection status and support. That Big U, a former leader of the Rollin' 60s, would align with Loose Cannon and Brick Baby against Bloods members is entirely consistent with this deeply ingrained history. What makes this specific incident especially compelling is not just the gang rivalry, it's the personal beefs set aside in the heat of battle, revealing how powerful and complex the code of loyalty remains behind bars. The deep-seated tension between these individuals, especially the serious allegations Loose Cannon has made against Big U regarding Nipsey Hussle's murder, makes their decision to put aside personal differences during the prison yard fight even more remarkable. It highlights the powerful grip of gang loyalty and the complex social dynamics that play out within correctional facilities. The long-standing Bloods vs. Crips rivalry has fueled decades of violence in Los Angeles, and that tension often spills over into prison as seen in incidents like the 2015 fight at Otis Bantam Correctional Center in New York, involving rapper Bobby Shmurda. The aftermath of this recent prison brawl could carry serious consequences for all involved. For Big U, who's already facing the most severe charge, including murder racketeering and running a criminal enterprise, this incident could simply add more fuel to his growing legal fire. For Brick Baby and the Loose Cannon, who both have upcoming bail hearings, their involvement in the fight might jeopardize their chances of release, depending on how prosecutors frame the altercation in court. What many don't realize is that the beef between these men runs much deeper than just prison politics. It all ties back to the tragic murder of Nipsey Hussle. To truly understand what happened in that jail yard and why it matters, we need to rewind to the streets of Crenshaw and examine the complicated history between Nipsey Big U and their inner circles. The Nipsey Hussle connection. Nipsey Hussle was murdered on March 31st, 2019 outside his Marathon clothing store in South Los Angeles. He was shot multiple times by Eric Holder Jr., who was later convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 60 years to life in February 2023. The official motive presented at trial was that Holder became enraged after Nipsey brought up rumors that he was a snitch-on of the gravest accusations in gang culture. Eric Holder Jr., known on the streets as Shitty Cuz and also an aspiring rapper, was like Nipsey a member of the rolling 60s neighborhood. Crips.court documents revealed that the two had a brief exchange in the store's parking lot, during which Nipsey allegedly mentioned the snitching rumors. While witnesses described the conversation as calm, Holder reportedly...
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone, and I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him to call you this guy? Or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what put me up, because my cousin is Nipsey's baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I could have probably stopped it. All right.
According to Big U, the commonly accepted timeline of events surrounding Nipsey Hussle's murder is inaccurate. He claims that after Holder's initial conversation with Nipsey, Holder never actually left the area. Instead, he went to Master Burgers, a nearby restaurant where surveillance footage allegedly captured him acting erratically. Big U describes Holder as sitting inside the restaurant, shirtless, appearing visibly disturbed, and
after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yeah, he hit me a little bit too early.